Turn over there, my stuff. The money right there, right for the hour out. It is there, snap out the two new right there. Now, I would need us knowing the how now. Mash, ni mahina hala. The one in there is the name, mash. Marash ni wala, can we need this? Ni me deep, we need this now. But this new one, the tower now, even enough. Not all the walk with the wood up. We need all of this. Marash ni wala, can we need this? Ni me deep, we need this now. But this new one, the tower now, even enough. Not all the walk with the wood up. We need all of this.
a very good idea. Entering a Mandalorian's room uninvited. Why don't you back up to the point where you were standing outside the door and rethink your decision? There are a few of us in the galaxy. Now, what do you want? Enjoy yourself.
Walking into other people's apartments on Nar Shaddaa is a good recipe for a short life. Remember that.
Dobry Chubabash, Kitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokyoke. Dobry Chubabash, Kitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokyoke, Nincha. Rishunko, Jova, Nincha, Chimba, Paksi, Tretuju, Tretuju, Pitie, Primtaba, Nin Sochu. Rishunko, Jova, Nincha, Chimba, Paksi, Tretuju, Tretuju, Pitie, Primtaba, Nin Sochu. Rishunko, Jova, Nincha, Chimba, Paksi, Tretuju, Tretuju, Pitie, Primtaba, Nin Sochu. We don't sakrate, rotota de jalawara kunsa zoto. Chubatone king chuba mi, zoko goche, tichike chusu mogotabra. Grabe chusai krengi wite hung doga. Kuriko asotoye rinke frite de ducha, morsamba sugna kapla wiye tinya, tal chiro runta gamsa. Dobry Chubabash, Kitskala, Dorcha, Wata, Tokyoke, Nincha.
Tanto todos, tumukarata. Mayrangana roto, dosimana rachata. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi. Tenanjara, tomachunga, karota. Dosokachi, kawana abawasi. Johnny Nikarai Binachi, Papa Donachi Drumka. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Mayrangana roto, dosimana rachata. Tanto todos, tumukarata. Mayrangana roto, dosimana rachata. Tenanjara, tomachunga, karota. Tanto todos tumukarata. Mayranganoroto. Dosimana rachata. Nunchka wanasicho ranapamangakan. Mopitawa josi mukchuto. Tanto todos tumukarata. Mayranganoroto. Dosimana rachata. Tanto todos tumukarata. Mayranganoroto. Dosimana rachata. Minsukre masukun ratungala. Merontono junsa raka roto. Minsukun rakawata. Poendo rakamana sobu. Tanto todos tumukarata. Mayranganoroto. Dosimana rachata. Nunchka wanasicho ranapamangakan. Mopitawa josi mukchuto. Posa non chirinta masukin kulawanka. Posong chinsun mi karanga do maitonga. Tu es recto na tu insula raka rakachat. Tanto todos tumukarata. Mayranganoroto. Dosimana rachata. Tenanjara. Tomaichunga karota. Dosokachi kawana abawasi. Aramontok tumugara chukorak. Grun kanawana machi nito rabanaka. Dosimona ra racha. Gonachi drum paba nakaras. Dosokachi kawana abawasi.
Oh, looks like the Jedi raised their standards. Hanhar. I thought I smelled something.
I've told you before, hunt your own targets. Don't scavenge mine.
What, working for the Hutt suddenly made you stupider, Hanhar? You touch me, you'll break the truce. And then you won't last long enough to slip off this moon. Don't, Hanhar. I'm warning you. I don't want your life dead, Hanhar. I told you. Yeah, you're right. I'm afraid. I'm afraid if you keep crushing me, I'll accidentally set off my rocket charges and blow us both to Nal Hutta. I'd rather die than be caught by you again, Hanhar.
Der Bundas der Geld, Bundas der Schierfachse, tut sie Bundas. When Bundas, Hoicidan Gelfa, Papuelta, Gelfa Badinogan Gelfa. When Bundas, Hoicidan Gelfa, Papuelta. Sidan Gelfa Badinogan Gelfa, Linda Kufna. When Bundas, Hoicidan Gelfa, Papuelta. Gelfa Badinogan Gelfa.
I don't know who you are, but you picked the wrong room to break into. No harm done. For a minute, I thought you might have been someone else. My wife, Ada. There's a chance she may be here on Nar Shaddaa. A lot of refugees ended up here after the Jedi Civil War. I came here to see if I could track her down. Thing is, I can't get into the refugee sector. And even if I could, I'm not sure I could find her. I've been here for weeks, hoping to see her face. All I've done is watch my credits burn away to nothing. The Exchange has got the place barricaded with thugs. They're putting the squeeze on the whole sector, trying to crush the spirit out of the remaining refugees. Now I'm almost cleaned out. I burned the last of my fuel and my freight just getting here. The Exchange promised me a job shuttling freight via cargo cruiser, and I'm close to taking them up on it. I don't, and that's the most frustrating thing. But sometimes I'm just sure she's still alive, somewhere. Yeah? And what's it gonna cost me? Well, I'm not gonna turn away an offer of help. All right, stranger. If you can find her, then you'll have my thanks.
You interrupting me for a reason? I have a lot of work to do, to manage here, right? So, what is it? My boss is the Hutt Voga. I oversee the docks for Voga's freighters. You not from here? Business bad. Freighters get hijacked, no trade gets through, and they can't get fuel from Sleheron. Fuel reserves building up there. KOTOR and his exchange hijacks Voga's ships. Hurts business. For money, I assume. We don't know how he does it. Every ship we send out, he gets. Fine, but you hurry up. You interrupting me for a reason? The Thorian? Nothing to talk about. He pay talking fee, he go. Power cells, you say? I have an idea. Pylons need new power supply. A Thorian gives Fasa some power cells, and Fasa let him go. Agree? Great! Good! You go tell him, right? Great! Good! What else?
Black Fandible Gelfa Boyelta. Renpuntas, Hoicidan Gelfa, Faboyelta.
Krotonoranga manatandi koroto. Mopiluna wana si jinsi wano bosh. Krotonoranga manatandi koroto. Mopiluna wana si jinsi wano bosh. Nunchka wana si jo rana bamanga kan. Mopitawa josi muchuto. Tanto todos. Tumukarata. Miranga naroto. Dosimana rachata. Krotonoranga manatandi koroto. Mopi'u na wana si Jinsi wano bush. Kroto no ranga manatandi Kroto. Mopi'u na wana si Jinsi wano bush. Kroto no ranga manatandi Kroto. Mopi'u na wana si Jinsi wano bush.
Greetings. I am B5D8. How may I assist you? This is a warehouse privately owned by Voga the Hutt. Your specific business-related inquiries will have to be directed to Voga himself. I am not authorized to disclose any information of that nature. However, I can say that this is an entirely droid-operated facility, and as such, we purchase droids for use here. We only purchase droids in larger amounts. If you have a droid you wish to sell, I would ask that you take it to Coded.
Hamid Matiwa to turn over there, much that the Manira near up an hour out in the village near my. Hamid Matiwa to turn over there, much that the Manira near up an hour out in the village near my. The Kimura and the Nala Manila Snow and the Howda. Bashni Manina Mashna or a Huda Kine Wat Kanina and a Bedishna, but not with the snake
Been poisoned.
Dawancha mori kon sova. Mawani din chori ki sodu sobarenwa. Dorjine soba wata. Kavadumpa mo sora ku paili abontenya. Dachi motu gamsa. Da hirembe wana kompaile mokata. Ta kom takjus miki mogokrabu. Kachi chu esa hodunga. Kavadumpa mo sora ku paili abontenya. Dachi motu gamsa. Da hupa botenya go
Feels like poison.
Doveri ninja rem taba ninsochu. Dachi motu gamsa. Kawana bota ayuka taigwa kankidora. Ya sora ku tuka ulwanji yumalifa. Shanek ma winbok lelen ko sobaramwe. Kawana bota ayuka taigwa kankidora. Ya sora ku tuka ulwanji yumalifa. Shanek ma winbok lelen ko sobaramwe. Moga chi norta hirembe wanachi. Kaki mogo krabu. Durum pabanakaras mangra. Kalalala vadumba kompaile mokata.
Feels like poison.
Darabinu ko sobaramwe. Masako chiro. Tuturiti brem kamsa. Dachi mo danchanek ma winbok lelen telemebilan. Kawana bota ayuka taigwa kankidora. Ya sora ku tuka ulwanji yumalifa. Shanek ma winbok lelen ko sobaramwe.
Feels like poison.
My lightsaber. You've destroyed it. I yield, Master. It is as I heard through the Force. My life for yours. You must. The alternative is only another death. And I would rather die by your hands. I have nothing to offer you. Your strength is superior. It is as I felt.
Now I've seen everything. This woman, she's a Miraluka. I didn't think any were left in this part of the galaxy. Yeah, they're a pretty secretive race. I heard that some of their kind become Jedi, but a Sith? That's a new one. I'm not sure how you'd go about killing one. It'd be tricky.
Just mentioning it, she looks like she's suffered enough wounds already, even after the beating you gave her. I heard they had a colony on the Mid-Rim, almost halfway between Onderon and Dantooine. Then, it wasn't there anymore. The whole planet was wiped out. Nothing left alive. No one knows why.
Well, it was a planet of her people. If they see through the Force, who knows? If they're all Force-sensitive, maybe they all saw something through the Force that we can't see, and they left before it happened. Or maybe it killed them. They claim to see on a higher plane than we do. You know, the whole Force thing makes me nervous. Yeah, they're a pretty secretive... I'm not sure how you'd go... Well, some of her wounds are pretty bad. Looks like she was already carrying her share of scars, though. I think she'll recover, yeah.
She is a threat to us. I am not asking that she be harmed or interrogated, but she is of the Sith, and she has attacked us once. She should not be allowed to walk freely on the ship.
Yes, General? Let me see what you have. No, you're still missing a lens. Something else I can help you with?
My life for yours. I am able to serve. If we enter battle, I will fight and die alongside you. I have not heard that question in some time. My flesh is healed, if that's the answer you seek. I know, and I fear that others will see the mercy in your actions, and in my survival, and use it as a weapon to do you greater harm. I felt you, heard you through the Force. It was like a sound at the edge of hearing. And when I heard it, I found I could not ignore it. I serve my master. I am an emissary, a scout. My master was aware of a disturbance in the Force, but was unaware of its nature, of you. The disturbance is not something one feels from a living thing. There is little my master does not know, and that you eluded his sight for so long is significant, but I do not know why. You cannot. His vessel roams the borders of known space, and even I do not know where he travels, until he calls for me. Even if I could lead you to my master, I cannot permit you to find him until you are ready. If I bring you before my master, untested, without your potential realized, then you will be lost to me, and I cannot allow that to happen. It would be as if one brought fire to a paradise valley, shattered a cavern of rare crystal, or blinded a painter. I cannot. I will not. I would die first, and gladly, to preserve you, untouched, unharmed. Now that I have found you, I cannot sacrifice what I have found. You will meet my master. It is inevitable. I have seen it. And when you stand before him and realize what you face, you must be prepared. Until then, I must protect you, help you, until you are ready. There's a greatness in you. A greatness that does not stem from the Force. It stems from who you are. And if my master does not understand you, cannot see you, then perhaps there is hope for us all. But if you seek to survive, then you must understand why this is so. There is much I see my master cannot. I fear it is because of my nature, the nature of my race. My people spend their lives seeing the galaxy, the energy streaming off stars, the growth of life, all things touched by the Force. It is not a subject which I have spoken of since its destruction. The planet was not destroyed. It remains. It orbits, dead in space. But nothing lives on its surface. It echoes, but there's no one left to hear it. I am not certain I did. I was there when the planet died, to see everything around you extinguished. It was as if I was blinded. It was as if the Force had been bled from the world. I imagine there are worse deaths, worse pain. But if there are, I do not know them. I was the only living thing remaining on the planet of KOTOR. And my life, my agony, was a flicker in the darkness that was the planet. All that I had been connected to, had been severed. Yes, but it was not survival. I still wonder what would have happened if I had died with the others. If perhaps there would have been some way to hide my presence from the galaxy. If only I had not felt that pain, that loss, as strongly as I did. But it could not be done when the life was bled from the planet. And yet somehow I remained. My master came for me. He walked upon the surface of my dead world. And there, lying in the bodies of my race, he took me for his own. And he made me see. And for the first time I saw the galaxy. And I wished to die. To this galaxy, my world, absent the currents and spectrums of the Force, was nothing but crude matter, rock, flesh, emptiness. He showed the flickering of life on other planets. The mass of beings that swarm through the empty places of the galaxy. To see such creatures, disconnected from themselves, their world, their place in it, unable to see the currents and how they affected everything around them. He showed me to make me believe in his cause. He convinced me the galaxy, all life, must die. He fed upon its ugliness, its screaming, and in its place, he left silence. And where there was chaos, he brought stillness and order. It was not a thing done with machines or weapons. The Force is far more terrible, and it touches more lives than any machine can hope to slay. For everyone that feels the Force, strongly, deeply, each one feels and perceives it in their own way. You have strengths, whether you know it or not, and my master has his. His power is great, and it comes from hunger. He is a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh. And in his wake, life dies, sacrificing itself to his hunger. And those who feel the Force strongly are beacons to his hunger. My people, my planet, would have been attacked in time. It was inevitable. Yet we could do nothing about it. The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to our world to meet in secret. They hoped that perhaps among our people, they could achieve the clarity to see what was striking them from the darkness of the galaxy. They succeeded, but only in bringing him from the outer regions. And KOTOR, with my kind, with the Jedi upon its surface, could no longer be ignored. And my people died. And the Jedi died. And there was no one left. Only me. They hoped to see the threat that had been stalking them. And they did. But they were unprepared for the magnitude of the threat. He cannot deny his hunger for long. And any gathering of Jedi is something he cannot long resist. And now that the Jedi are vanishing, I do not know what will happen. Perhaps he will grow strong enough to eradicate all life, merely with his presence. I do not understand what you mean. They hope to see the threat that had been I will answer what I can. It is not a subject which... I've heard tales of Malachor. It is said that many of my people felt the end of the Mandalorian Wars from across the galaxy. But do not mistake me. I did not mean to draw comparisons between KOTOR and Malachor. My homeworld still exists. It is intact. I will answer what I can. I am not familiar with the place you speak of. My master has not entered Republic space for some time, but there are others who may move more freely, who may have been responsible for such an act of destruction. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same: the death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites them. All their eyes are upon you, and it is a terrible, quiet darkness that pursues you. I will answer what I can. My master did not cause the end of the planet you speak of. There are many factions within the Sith, all seeking to take what little remains in the wake of the Jedi Civil War. Where one moves, it is not always known to the others. But their purpose is the same: the death of all Jedi, everywhere. They believe you are the last of the Jedi, and their hatred of the Jedi unites. I will answer what I can. My people once had the power to perceive events, to see through the Force. That sight may manifest itself in many ways, and at times, I may affect the abilities of others to see as well. My sight has been damaged. What I have taught you, it is not the full extent of the perceptions of my people. My master, when he showed me my world, showed it to me as it is. It hurt. And since that moment, it has been difficult to perceive the Force as I once did. But after traveling with you, I feel that perhaps there was a gift in it, hidden beneath the pain. Only when one suffers do certain truths become evident, both of the galaxy and of the self. And I feel you are an example of this. I will answer what I can. Forgive me, but before you go, I must ask. Why do you do this? Why do you seek to help me? Teach me? You must not do this. I cannot allow you to weaken yourself for me. So you say, but it is not something I have observed or seen. I remember little of my home.